Hi, welcome to Myers ASMR. How are you? Relax, relax. It's so good to see you. Did you know that every fiber of your being knows that things are supposed to go well for you? Yeah. Every fiber of your being knows that things are supposed to go well for you. Well, I hope this snack box that I got from Whole Foods goes well for me too. Let's look at it. Look at it. Yeah, things shifted a little bit in transportation. So, probably got some hummus on my grape leaves, which I want to try one. I just love grape leaves, don't you? So good. I wonder how they make these. Let's try some cucumbery. Hummus has such a musty taste. I think that's rice in there. The grape leaf itself tastes like it was pickled. You know, pickling leaves is a great way to consume them. Don't you just love a snack box? It's not too much. Raw veggies are so easy to eat when you have hummus. So easy with hummus. Delicious stuff. I still got leftover hummus. I have some celery in the fridge. Well, let's see what's happening in the world of Gatsby. I'm almost at the very end. I saw that for some reason of his own, he was determined not to come, so I stood up. "Are you a college man?" he inquired suddenly. For a moment, I thought he was going to suggest a connection, but he only nodded and shook my hand. "Let us learn to show our friendship for a man when he is alive and not after he is dead," he suggested. "After that, my own rule is to let everything alone." When I left his office, the sky had turned dark and I got back to West Egg in a drizzle. After changing my clothes, I went next door and found Mr. Gatz walking up and down excitedly in the hall. His pride in his son and in his son's possessions was continually increasing, and now he had something to show me. "Jimmy sent me this picture." He took out his wallet with trembling fingers. "Look there." It was a photograph of the house, cracked in the corners and dirty with many hands. He pointed out every detail to me eagerly. "Look there," and then sought admiration from my eyes. He had shown it so often that I think it was more real to him now than the house itself. "Jimmy sent it to me. I think it's a very pretty picture. It shows up well." "Very well. Had you seen him lately?" "He come out to see me 2 years ago and bought me the house I live in now. Of course, we was broke up when he run off from home, but I see now there was a reason for it. He knew he had a big future in front of him. And ever since he made a success, he was very generous with me. He seemed reluctant to put away the picture, held it for another minute lingeringly before my eyes. Then he returned the wallet and pulled from his pocket a ragged old copy of a book called Hopalong Cassidy. Look here, this is a book he had when he was a boy. It just shows you. He opened it at the back cover and turned it around for me to see. On the last fly leaf was printed the word schedule and the date September 12th, 1906. Underneath, rise from bed, 6 a.m., dumbbell exercise and wall scaling, 6:15 to 6:30. Study, electricity, etc., 7:15 to 8:15. Work, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Baseball and sports, 4:30 to 5. Practice elocution, poise, and how to attain it, 5 to 6 p.m. Study needed inventions, 7 to 9 p.m. General resolves, no wasting time at shafters or a name indecipherable. No more smoking or chewing. Bath every other day. Read one improving book or magazine per week. Save $5 crossed out, $3 per week. Be better to parents. I come across this book by accident, said the old man. It just shows you, don't it? It just shows you. Jimmy was bound to get ahead. He always had some resolves like this or something. Do you notice when he's got about improving his mind? He was always great for that. He told me I ate like a hog once, and I beat him for it. He was reluctant to close the book, reading each item aloud and then eagerly looking at me. I think he rather expected me to copy down the list for my own use. A little before 3, the Lutheran minister arrived from Flushing, and I began to look involuntarily out the windows for other cars. So did Gatsby's father. And as the time passed and the servants came in and stood waiting in the hall, his eyes began to blink anxiously, and he spoke of the rain in a worried, uncertain way. The minister glanced several times at his watch, so I took him aside and asked him to wait half an hour. But it wasn't any use. Nobody came. About 5 o'clock, our procession of 3 cars reached the cemetery and stopped in a thick drizzle beside the gate. First, a motor hearse, horribly black and wet. Then Mr. Gatz and the minister and I in the limousine, and a little later 4 or 5 servants and the postman from West Egg in Gatsby's station wagon, all wet to the skin. As we started through the gate into the cemetery, I heard a car stop and then the sound of someone splashing after us over the soggy ground. I looked around. It was the man with owl-eyed glasses whom I had found marveling over Gatsby's books in the library one night 3 months before. I'd never seen him since then. I don't know how he knew about the funeral or even his name. The rain poured down his thick glasses and he took them off and wiped them to see the protecting canvas unrolled from Gatsby's grave. I tried to think about Gatsby then for a moment, but he was already too far away, and I could only remember without resentment that Daisy hadn't sent a message or a flower. Dimly I heard someone murmur, "Blessed are the dead that the rain falls on," and then the owl-eyed man said amen to that in a brave voice. We straggled down quickly through the rain to the cars. Owl Eye spoke to me by the gate. "I couldn't get to the house," he remarked. "Neither could anybody else." "Go on," he started. "Why, my God, they used to go through there by the hundreds." He took off his glasses and wiped them again outside and in. "The poor son of a bitch," he said. Well, that's a good place to leave it. Wow. I did not know Gatsby was gonna die. I don't even know why they made that happen. I mean, it's just odd the way it happened, you know. Well, we'll see how it ends. But, if you want to